The people we love never really go away. Eventually the pain will go from searing to throbbing to humming like static in the background, but because you were cut so deep, you never really heal fully. You just kind of grow around the injury. Lovers leave marks like stains, so loud and glaring initially that virtually anyone can see, but it fades. With time and build-up, it quiets into the background scenery, just another bump in your journey. So small you wouldn't even know it was there if you weren't looking for it. You were. You search for it, go back to it, trace fingers around it like a gap, like a hole, like the sound of wind, but no obvious signs of a draft intruding. Something small enough to ignore on a good day. But on nights when you have used yourself up and are drowning in self-doubt, you find yourself pacing mentally around that emotional cavity, poke more holes, open old wounds, dig up graves that were long since settled, surround yourself with bones and bottles, chanting, "My fault. My fault." The holiest of incantations. Filled with regret, you replay every scenario in your head. What if I'd done this or said that? We could have worked it out. Don't think like that. And it's hard to break away from the train of thought that always leads to inevitable crash, because even though you know the destination, part of you enjoys the ride in spite of that, shuddering through the hardest and best parts of your life, small and disfigured like bodies under a street light, where you're told to seize the day. But some days take over others. Spill over like watercolors on wet paper, reaching out tendrils to touch what it should not. Memories parts of you want to live in forever, and other parts you wish you'd forgot. All blurred together like a photograph underwater, his face almost touching mine, but not quite. Our fingers interlocking under the skag blanket on the sitting room sofa was our purest moment. And maybe that one day can outweigh all the bad ones, compensate for tears, torn conversations, harsh words, and ones that are unspoken. But then the things we did and didn't do come crashing down on top of me so heavy it's hard to breathe. But you do. The air goes in and the moment goes out, and you carry on holding strong even though every atom in your body wants to scream and shout. And new lovers come along and leave their own marks. Love hearts holding initials on A4 margins, accidental cigarette burns on forearms, they all leave their trace. No one will ever touch you truly without there being a little giving and some take, and the take will always brand you in some way. Because that is what true loving means. And though we both left each other's bodies like crime scenes, we cannot be that one detective in the movie who refuses to close a cold case. We must ignore the niggling feeling of arms left on or lost keys. Stop running our tongues over teeth already clean. Stop wandering around the house in a panic when it's time to greet the day. Shut the door. Turn the lock. Step away. You have to keep growing. Keep growing. Keep fading. Keep fading away.